Fussy, Fussy, I hear you. They are going to town today. Well, good day, everyone. This is Wolf Ranch Homestead. They are busy. Hey, Ginger. This is Tiny Tim. He's got one little throat patch. I was trying to do my introduction when he came over. I've been trying to be real still. But that's Tiny Tim. Hey, buddy. So for anyone watching, this is a juvenile male ruby-throated hummingbird. He has one little throat patch. That's Traveler. Traveler's fussing at him. Here he is. He's probably not going to come down while I'm sitting here. Well, I didn't get to do my introduction earlier, but this is Wolf Ranch Homestead, and we're happy to have everyone watching with us. The hummingbirds are high activity level today. We should see quite a few birds come up to the feeder. Traveler is up in the tree above me in his normal oak tree that he likes. Tiny Tim was just over here, and right before I got the camera set up, Tiny Tim and a female were having words with each other about who was going to get on the feeder. They are very, very busy. We're getting towards the end of the month, and about the beginning of September, we should start seeing a lot more birds as they migrate through and make their way south. And primarily what we're going to see will be ruby-throated hummingbirds. We will, every so often, rare occasion, we may get other species, but for us so far I've only seen one that wasn't a ruby-throated that I could tell at a glance. But yeah, I would say today's activity levels are going to be pretty high. We're still not quite at that migration point. I don't think we're not seeing them as heavily, so expect it to get busier from here. We haven't quite been able to stream lately due to being busy or to a lot of rain. Right now we're having a lot of high rain chances. We get a lot of thunderstorms, and they are definitely taking advantage of those feeders whenever we have these rainstorms coming through. So welcome to anybody that's new subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, well, hey, we just are having you watch with us. It's great to have you here. Some of our videos get a few views for the streams, and others have been picking up lately, getting about 110, 150 views. So that's been really nice to see everybody join in and check out the hummingbirds here. What is this nonsense, phone? All right, hopefully we're back on. YouTube likes to disconnect and also to give us problems with the service here, so hopefully we're back up, but I'll keep an eye on it. Traveler, you be nice. That was right near my face. How rude. Man, I just came to turn the camera on and Tiny Tim came over and was having a sip. Traveler got up there, giving him what a lot of people in the chicken community call the stank eye. He was giving him the dirty looks. And then he came over here and scuffled, and they came over by my face. But they're still a little bit busy. Gonna sit here and see. That must be Tim. Tiny Tim seems very chatty. He's very talkative when he comes in. Yeah, Traveler, he's wild. He came over just near me here and he landed in the tree. Yeah, the one that just came up and flew by was Tiny Tim. He's up in the tree talking. He's about to come down. Traveler's already looking at him and talking back to him. He almost looked like he was gonna do a dive display at him. Getting a little bit sassy. Come on. Yeah, he's got that one little patch right there on his throat of color, and the rest is just little dots. We had some, you could barely see it in one of the videos earlier on when we started streaming. That little thing you see on the ground right there behind the feeder. I see your comments here, Ginger, and on my end everything looks good. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, try refreshing on your end if you see anything where it buffers again. I haven't seen it on the actual camera. I'm gonna sit down here and watch them come up for the evening. Maybe provide a little bit of insight as to what they're doing around the feeder. Usually you can hear a lot of activity going on around the feeder, but you're really not going to get a view of it. So at the moment, Traveler is above me in the oak tree. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Yeah, he's up above me. This has been his favorite tree ever since he first got here. This has been his particular tree that he always wants to be in. My husband was saying earlier that I was telling him about when I got everything situated and that Tim had came up, and he was saying that he thought it was neat that some of the same ones would come up where you could name them. And I was explaining to him, yeah, that like I've said before, some of these could be the same birds that we've seen the year before, but I'm not sure. So generally what I started doing is each year we'll pick a letter of the alphabet, and every bird that gets a name that year, it'll start with that letter. So last year, everything had an F name. So we had Finnegan, Flower, Flora, we had Feisty, quite a few of them. That's kind of the main ones. Finnegan was the main one back then, and he stayed down here where the third feeder is by the old workshop. And this year has all been T names. So the one that you're mainly going to see here and hear me talk about is Traveler. That's Tim right there. He's flying above me. Yeah, so Traveler is probably about 10 feet away right now. He's in this other tree next to the oak. It's another oak tree, but it's not the normal one. And what he's doing is he's actually on a branch, and he's hiding himself up under the leaves of the oak tree. All the trees still have really bright green leaves. And he's perched right there under the leaf cover. So any of the birds flying in that are above that point are really not going to see him, the way he's got himself kind of camouflaged there. But the way that they interact with each other is just hilarious. Earlier in the year we had one of them, I don't think it was him, I think it was a different one, but one would hide under the porch. Like almost at ground level, this bird would hide under the porch. There was like a little running vine that was growing under there, and he would perch on that, and you couldn't really see him at all. And whenever somebody would come up to the feeder, he would fly from under the porch and chase them off. Yeah, and what was honestly, like, it's really amazing to recall this, but about 2 days ago, down the road at the other feeders, there he went. He had that ground, or that cover above him. So Tim's above me. Traveler came over and he's talking to him, telling him off. But Tim is not real deterred by him. He just keeps coming back. But the feeders down the road, there's a spot where my husband has been dragging up logs to take to the sawmill. We have an area where we bring them up out of the woods and we load them down there. Then we have to use the winch system, and we have to pull them up the hill. Well, at the top of the hill is where you have to load them yet again to take down to the sawmill. And this spot at the top of the hill right now, there's a few logs sitting there, so I think there's an oak and a poplar. And I came off from the porch out there, like I said, about 2 days ago, and there was a male ruby-throated sitting on this log. The log was laying on the ground, getting prepared to drag to the sawmill, and he was sitting on the log. Not sitting, like he was perched there basically, but that was one of the lower spots I've seen them perched and actually watching the feeder. And that particular male at that feeder, he likes to sometimes get on like an old power line that's out there. He'll get on that one, but that was really neat to see him actually on the log. Very weird place to see him. So Tim right now hasn't came back over. I think he went to the other feeders for a little bit. Traveler looks like he's hiding over there in the same spot. Checking on the chat here. I can see it kind of moving. Yeah, Tim is going to be, he's had some practice this year. He's Oh, hey there, little Homestead. We've been going for a little bit here. We got a little bit of time left. They're still active, still zooming around. I love your little Homestead. Did a live video a little while back, and I saw the little kitty cat on there, and that's the little cute cat. I think they said that the cat was a little bit older, and that was really amazing. I love hearing when people have their pets and they've had a long, full life and had a lot to experience. That's really amazing. We've got the our little healer right now. She's somewhere around 11 years old. She was adopted from the shelter when she was younger, and she's somewhere around 11. And then our other dog, he's close to being 8 years old now. So you can kind of see on the camera behind this oak tree, the little oak tree that's behind the feeder. That's the one that Traveler likes to perch in. And there's a little road right there, and on the other side of it there's a cardinal, a little male cardinal, and he's just hopping around chirping. And the mosquitoes are out today. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's moved over, the little cardinal, he's moved over into this oak tree now. Oh, hey, welcome back. They're slowing down a little bit out here, but we might see them come back over to the feeder one more time. Oh, hey, Tim. He came right behind my head just then. Yeah, we have the northern cardinal, and oh, there's the female over there. She's across the road, and he's in this oak tree. They're such great birds to really watch. They nest in some of the same spots each year. They really like the rose bushes. That's one of they like areas that have a lot of cover, especially thorns. So around here, the cardinals will nest in the rose bushes, and they like wild blackberries. The blackberries will grow and vine out, and they'll take over a lot of cover, especially, about stomach height or so. And they'll nest in that really thick, like thorn cover. And hey, Tim, you gonna come back over? But the cardinals are they're so cute, and I love watching them in the way they raise their young. Oh, hey, little Homestead, that's great. We're getting some reports of some people up north. I know you're a little bit further than some of the ones we were hearing, but a lot of people saying, they still got some up there, up north, and that's really nice. I'm glad that you still got some. I try to keep up. Come on. I hear you. Come back over, buddy. But I like to keep up just for personal sake. I like to know kind of where they're at, where the birds are at, if people in northern parts are seeing the same activity levels, if they're seeing them decrease, and it kind of gives me an idea of what to expect down our way. And I'm wondering, we've got two systems that are possibilities down in the Gulf right now for like tropical storm, tropical depression, hurricane type things. That's a good question. So I don't know about migrating south, but migrating north for the breeding season, our males are always first. Usually the males, when they're migrating up this way from the south, will get the males first, and then usually about a month later or so, we'll get the females coming in. So I'm not sure about southward. I haven't really paid attention, but I will say that last year when I got one of the last videos of a bird that we still had, it was a female. So it's possible, I'm not expert on anything like that, but it's possible that the males are going to go southward again, um, ahead of the females like they do when they come up this way. But typically for us, um, we're going to get that, like the males, like I said, males first, usually about a month ahead of the first female. But it's really great how people have commented or people that come in chat and kind of talk to us about what their observations are on their hummingbird activity. Well, that looked like they were getting ready for bed. Traveler looks like he went back behind me a minute ago to the other feeder, and he just took off from the oak tree. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. He just left out of the oak tree and he went really far down into the pine grove. I think he might be headed to bed, usually around 7 or so. Yeah, definitely knowing where the birds are still at and what their activity levels are in that area, if they're seeing like a decrease in the numbers or if they're seeing the same, kind of gives those along the rest of the route as they migrate back through an idea of what to expect. Because getting those reports, like say, for anybody that's watching this and has tolerated me talking, thank you. If you're making it through, you're watching it later on. But Journey North is a great resource for understanding the activity levels, the migration routes, things like that. And by understanding where reports are of the birds and how frequently those reports are coming in, it'll help you get an idea of your activity levels and maybe how many feeders you need to put out, what nectar level you need to have out. So when you start seeing those initial reports pop up, like say for us, for our ruby-throated hummingbirds, you'll see that handful down there near the Gulf. You'll see, like Florida, Gulf of Alabama, things like that, Mississippi. You'll start seeing those little reports here and there. And by understanding the map and seeing where the birds are sighted and seeing them start to move up the map, you'll kind of get an idea of maybe when you need to put your first feeder out. And then when you start seeing those multiple reports in different areas where you're seeing multiple people in different counties on the same day reporting that they're seeing birds, then they're kind of moving up a little more frequently. You might have a little bit more birds, so you might put out more than one feeder. And they also have a spot on there for basic observations of the hummingbirds as well, like nectaring from flowers, things like that. And seeing those reports and kind of understanding what people are saying there might also help you get an idea of if they're noticing increased activity levels where you might need to put out more feeders, things like that. But Journey North is it's a great resource for understanding time frames of arrival, things like that, because you can go back to previous years on Journey North and you can see for areas surrounding you when people are reporting their first birds. So even if you haven't seen them at that time period, that doesn't mean they might not be there. I would have had no clue that our first bird had gotten here if not for having a game camera on the feeder. But by understanding and understanding, reading their posts, reading their observations, going back to previous years and seeing when those birds are arriving around you, and also personally keeping a little written log or keeping some notes on your phone about when you get your first bird, when you see your first arrival, that information is going to help you in coming years to know when to expect those birds. So for us, when I first really started noticing them, yeah, calendar definitely. Some people I know like will throw their old calendars away. So writing it on your next year's calendar, kind of like when to expect them, making yourself a reminder down the road, something like that. Just keeping up with it in general is a good practice. And that way, like I said, when I first really started taking note of it, I always made myself a note in my head because the first bird I saw was April 1st. So I made myself a mental note, fill the feeders before fools. But then I noticed the next year that a bird came up to us before that, close to the middle of March, and I said, okay, well, here's the date that this bird arrived. Well, I kept that note and I wrote that down, and I had it in my head for this year, and sure enough, last year's date was only one day off from the first arrival this year. So having that information and knowing when your birds are expected to arrive will help you be prepared and have nectar out ready for them. And that's going to be beneficial to them, but also it's going to help you know how to plan for them coming through. And also knowing the average time frame of when your birds leave. And if you have any history of overwintering birds, it'll help out a lot too. And that's another thing with Journey North is, you can check on there and see if anybody has reported anywhere around you some overwintering birds or birds that are really late to leave. Hey Ginger, thanks for being here. I'm about to sign off for now. Just kind of talking a little bit here at the end since they all seem like they went ahead to bed, but appreciate you being here. And just kind of, I'm going to touch on just a little bit here before I sign off. But hey, enjoy your walk, and hopefully it's a fun one and you have some good exercise with the puppy dog. But only thing I was going to touch on before we signed off, besides for everybody to kind of keep up to date with their migration activity, is oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll see you again next time. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow. We'll see. It just kind of depends on the weather here lately. But the only thing before I was going to sign off was just saying that I'll point it up here real quick. So this is the Perky Pet ant guard. So a lot of people use ant moats to prevent ants from getting into the nectar, and we tried them refilled. Was kind of a challenge, and also it didn't always work. And some people have reported that when they've used the water-based ant moats that they've had honeybees try to get in there and actually not survive and not be able to get out. And we saw these, and I think it was Hummingbird Spot. I think she was actually using these, and that's where I found out about it first. And Hummingbird Spot's really wonderful. She does a live stream of her hummingbird feeders in California. It's really nice. And I think this is where I saw these first. And they're repellent-based ant moats. So instead of water, they have a little permethrin disc on the inside. And when we started using these, it has just been such a big help. They're, low maintenance. You really don't have to do anything with them. When you put them out, you put out a clean feeder with fresh nectar, and you put that out there at the same time. And we put these out, and it has just been great. Whenever we put them out, haven't noticed any more ants. It's been really nice. And also very surprised, have not had a problem with yellow jackets either. We usually have a real bad problem with them coming up to the feeders and getting in the ports and getting in the bottom where the nectar is stored at. But we've also noticed that it seems like the yellow jackets have not come around either. So that's been really nice with these. But wanted to share these in case anybody has had a problem with ants on their feeders this year. Really consider getting these repellent-based ant deterrents for your feeders. I've got a link in the description. Kind of like we talked about in our other videos, we have the little Amazon affiliates program. So if you make a purchase through the link, as kind of a disclaimer, we get like a really small compensation off of it. But mainly, like I said, just to kind of help other people not have such trouble with their feeders. this has been really great, and we got a 2-pack of them, and we've got the link in the description like I was mentioning, so that if you're interested in something like this, you can find exactly what we're using on Amazon. Certain orders on there, if you order it through Amazon, you can get like free shipping. I think it's over $25 or more, like you can get free shipping on things. So if you order a 4-pack, I think you might qualify for that, or order like 2 sets of 2. But when they came in the mail, we put those out immediately, and it has just been such a big help. But anyways, I'm going to set this down here, and thank you everybody for watching. It's been great to share all the hummingbirds with you this year, and again, we've had lots of new visitors. It's been really amazing. We've got new subscribers, and a lot of new viewers. Power notification, and it stops it for a little bit there, but again, just thank you everybody for watching with us. It's been really nice to share the hummingbirds with you, and just to bring you in and let you see all the hummingbirds and their unique personalities, and to kind of explain how they're behaving, what their favorite things are, like their favorite little perching spots, and all their cute little names. And to hear from everybody else back in response. You know, we got a lot of viewers, and a nice core group of people that'll really, you know, kind of chat with us and comment and let us know what their activity levels are, what kind of birds they're seeing when their first arrivals get here. So having a great group of people here watching is just a real treat. And like I said, as always, it's just kind of started doing this so we could kind of monitor our levels here, but it's been really great to share with everyone. But as always, I've rambled on quite a bit, but appreciate everybody being here. And hey, we're about to get into a new week and about to be into a new month, so make sure you finish out your month, do something amazing, have a great week, and be productive, and just go with it. Like I said, I ramble a lot, but you know, like I said, always try to encourage everybody to have a good week and make the most of it. And something we don't talk about enough is also, you know, cherish the people you have around you that you really care about. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying hi, and you said have a great week. Okay, I was laughing. I was like, yeah, my wording is not great. So, but anyways, trying to keep up with chat here. Yeah, thank you. You have a great week as well. I know you've got lots going on there, and you just had all your little bunnies that were born, and got a lot to keep up with them. Yeah, mine does that a lot. My keyboard will just, half the time I'll try to type something and it'll delete it, or it'll send it too early, so I understand completely. And but like I was saying, again, um, good people around you, good people in your life, positive influences, cherish those people, make the most of your time with them, and you know, spend time with your loved ones this week. Go do something fun. Whenever you've got an off day, go out with people that you care about, go do something fun together, whether it's just taking a walk outside, going to the park, or play some games together. Just have that good time spent with the people that matter most to you. And again, have a great week. We appreciate you so much, and we'll